Hey everybody, it's Christopher Nejman back for a little tutorial. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial. As you can see, I've been really busy making bags for clients. So someone made a comment about old machines. Love watching my videos when I feature older machines, and I thought, wow, you know, you're going to be really surprised because I just adopted another older machine. And of course, it's an embroidery machine. So I'm going to show you how I've been doing my embroidery on ribbon. Well, not ribbon. It's what do they call that? Like a, I don't know. It's a ribbon tape. Kind of like those. I'm lost for words. I can't come up with a word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They make straps out of them on duffel bags and stuff like that. Anyway, this is a designer version I found online. Now, I know some of you are going to ask me, where did you get it, Christopher? Where did you get it? I'm going to tell you the same thing. Every time I shop online, I see something I like and I buy it. So I actually found this on eBay quite a while ago. So you guys got to shop everywhere, you know. If you're going to say, do you have a link for it? No, I don't have a link for it. I bought it a while ago. So I'm sorry, but that's what I said. We have a stash. Us sewers buy things, we put it in our drawers, and we stash everything. Then one day when we're making something, we say, oh, I've got something that's going to work perfect for that. So just look on eBay for eBay and other sites for designer ribbon, okay? All right, now, how am I going to hoop this? Well, here's a trick that I do. Now, this is going to be good for you newbies. So as I talked about in a couple of my other videos, you've got these registration marks on your embroidery hoop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to line it up. And I've got a stabilizer in here. This is just a tearaway stabilizer. I'm going to make a crosshair line here. Right? I'm going to do a crosshair line here. Okay? All right. And then I did an embroidery design for myself, and I centered it in the software. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do with the ribbon. I'm going to fold this in half. Okay? I'm going to take a little spray baste. I'm going to center this on the middle line. You see that? Then I'm going to fold this over. The machines you hear in the background are all my machines going because I'm making a new book tote. I decided to do I have my own original embroidery designs, so I decided to do a book tote with my own original embroidery designs. The book totes are really popular. I got a lot of clients asking for them, and so they've been in production for about 2 months now. All right, you see how nice that is? See? All right, that's all we need. Now let's go to the embroidery machine and embroider it out. Isn't this beautiful? These are embroidery designs that I edited and re-edited from my Celebrity Bags embroidery on my Celebrity Bags book, which is on CD, available on my website. It's been out for a while. And also from the Amazing Designs CD that was produced. My designs called Elegant Decor, and that was when Amazing Designs was in business and this was being produced. So these are all my original designs I'm making for a tote bag. Isn't that beautiful? All right, are you ready to see my latest, greatest, used, new sewing machine? All right, here we go. It's the Janome 11000 SE, the SE edition, right? You might have seen this in my book Pillows. And after my book Pillows was written, and after I did my second book, Janome called and said they want their machines back or I can buy them. So I said, nah, you can have it back. And Baby Lock said, thank you for featuring our machines in your book. Please keep the machines since you've been so loyal to Baby Lock. And Janome was so cheap. So I always bought Janome used machines now. I don't buy new because Janome was just a little too cheap for me, but I love the way they sew, so I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain. I just want to tell you how cheap the company is, okay? They're very cheap to artists out here. Us designers, they don't take care of us. Baby Lock takes care of us, and as you can see, that's the Baby Lock and multi-needle embroidery machine. and I always love my Baby Luck. So I have two brands I like. But anyway, let's move on. Okay? All right. So this is the... I looked it up online during the break here, and when I was doing some editing on this. And this is called Twill tape. And you can just do Google searches for Twill tape and find out where you can buy this. All right. So anyway, this is my logo that I edited in my Brilliance software, and I'm going to sew it out. What's the thread I'm using? I am using Fufus. I found this online. I like the color. I do a lot of Google searching, guys. So if you're going to ask me for links and everything, I'm going to tell you, you could do just exactly what I do. A lot of Google searching, okay? I see a lot of comments on my posts, and they say, they don't even ask, could you please ask me? That's another thing I notice about these sewers, these ladies, and some of these men. They're not very, their manners, they're not very polite. They'll just reply and say, link please, or they won't even say please. They'll just say, you got a link for that? Or, what is that? Or, what are you using? There's never any, could you please tell me? So it's like, I don't want to bother with those people. They're kind of nasty and rude, So I like the people who are very kind and courteous and appreciative. Because remember, I'm doing this for free. I'm not being sponsored by any company. Guys, I'm not being sponsored. So it's like they say, I read this article, this girl who wanted to be a fashion designer, and she studied all the videos online. She was so appreciative of all the people, and they asked her what her backup plan was if it didn't work. She said, I had no backup plan. And she said she spent hours researching and looking everything online because that was what she wanted to do. See what her passion is, and that's what I tell everybody. I say, if you really want to do something, you're going to have the passion. You're going to spend hours researching and looking information up. And always be nice. Tell people when you want information from somebody, say, could you please tell me, or do you have any information on that? Could you please share it? Thank you. None of this, where'd you get that? What do you do? Now, don't go for that. We don't go for that. We weren't raised that way. All right, so here we go. Let me show you beautiful. This is going to embroider beautifully. I had to do a little preaching in every video, so that was my preaching for today. Manners, they seem to be gone on the internet. All right, let me stop that and put the camera down because I want to cut that thread. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about this machine. So, now this is the era when all these high-end embroidery machines, there's abundance of them everywhere now. You know why? Because it's been 25, 20, 30 years, and all these top-of-the-line sewing machines that Grandma owned, and Grandma only sews periodically. She spends more time decorating her sewing room than she really does sewing. So, when the latest and greatest next sewing machine comes out, her husband will buy her the next greatest sewing machine. You ladies will laugh at this. You guys know what I'm talking about too when they say, my husband bought this for me. We'll go, that's another joke in the industry. You guys don't know about that joke. So anyway, what we've got is, we've got an abundance of these used machines coming out now. And there's so many of them, it's competing to sell them. And many of them hardly have any hours used on them. Because like I said, Grandma's too busy chatting in sewing groups. She's too busy decorating her sewing room. She really doesn't use these machines as often as most people do. Okay? Now, we do have the grandmas out there that are notorious quilters and embroiderers, and they do use them. Oh, it just went out on me. Okay, I just rethreaded it. It must have got stuck on the spray base. I might have used too much spray base, or I put it down too quickly before it dried. So anyway, it looks like it got caught up pretty good. Let's just do a couple back stitches here. Well, I gotta raise my presser foot and do a couple back stitches. There we go. So as I was saying, the grandmas that buy these machines, or their husbands buy these machines for them, and they don't, a lot of these people don't use them very often. Okay, they really don't. And when you get them, you check the usage of hours on them, and they don't have that much usage. They really don't. So this is great for the new beginner generations of sewers. And what I mean by new beginner generations, I mean the younger people who are coming into sewing that cannot afford to pay what these originally cost. I think this one originally went for $7,000, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is what the MSRP on it was originally. So I picked this up for $1,000. So you can find them out there. This is the beautiful, beautiful operating machine. No matter how cheap the company is to their artists, I can't deny that this is a great, great sewing machine. Okay, and I always wanted this machine. So when I said $1,000 instead of 7,000, 6,000, you better believe it. I'm going to grab it. So, and I use it for my business. I use it for my business, as you can see. So let me start this again. So anyway, this was my latest purchase. I adopted this. I should say I adopted it. And this is the SE version. Now, what is the difference between the 11,000 and 11,000 SE? Well, this is the SE. And this was actually upgraded to an SE. And when I got it, I liked the SE version that had the black on the bottom. So I just got some car vinyl and I cut it out and put it on the bottom, and then went to my brother's scan and cut out the SE. The SE is the upgrade to the 11,000. The 11,000 did not have jump thread cutting. And this has been upgraded to the SC, which does jump thread cutting, which is something that everyone is getting used to today, and they're avoiding machines that don't do jump thread cutting anymore, especially if they're going to bigger hoops. So I want to share that with you all. See how beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. And some of you may ask me what needle I'm using. I'm using a top stitch needle size 14. Top stitch needle, size 14. I love that needle. I use it for so many of my projects. Looks like I have to do a little trimming there when it got stuck. And there it goes. Now, I could probably also use a titanium embroidery needle, which would be great. Or the non-stick embroidery needles, which would work great. But I always keep a top stitch needle in just in case I want to use metallic thread. Because metallic thread works great with the top stitch needle. Size 14 is a great size. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Just gorgeous. So I want to share this with you all. So to recap, a lot of grandmas whose husbands have the money that buy them these top-of-the-line sewing machines, and yes, there are ladies out there who actually do buy their own machines, but on the groups you hear the ladies talking about, my husband bought me this machine, right? So I'm like, okay, so obviously these ladies have their husbands buy the machines. I'm a man, I buy my own machine, so, well, I guess that's what happens. Only men buy machines. Who knows? That's not true. Women buy their own machines too out there. You just don't hear a lot of it on the sewing groups. All right, so anyway, this is a former top-line machine, well taken care of by the grandma who used it, grandma who owned it, grandma whose husband bought it for her. Because when I messaged her, I said, I want to know some more information about it. And she said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And she said to me, and I quote, it's been hardly used. My husband bought me a new top-of-the-line sewing machine, unquote. So there you go. If you ladies want to get mad at me and tell me I'm misogynistic or something, I'm only quoting what you girls say. So don't get on my case. Tell the other women what they're saying. I'm just telling you what I learned in this industry and what you ladies say. So if you ladies don't like what other people are saying or what you're saying, then stop saying it. Okay? Anyway, because somebody got mad at me one time because I was talking about all the ladies that talk about stuff, and they're like getting mad at me, and I'm like, don't get mad at me. You know, don't shoot the messenger. So the point of this video is to show you that you can own top-of-the-line sewing machines, right? You can own top-of-the-line sewing machines for a fraction of the cost. Let me show you my other machine I bought a while back. All right, so a few months ago I found this one, and this is the Brother VM5100. Awesome machine. This originally sold for $5,000. Let me turn it on for you. You might have seen this already. This originally sold for like $5,000. And, oh, come on. There we go. And I picked it up for $1,000. Such a beautiful machine. Look at that. So keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. You have to be diligent. You have to look at all the auction sites, look at Marketplace, look everywhere. Look if you have a Craigslist, and make sure you check the machines out. Look how many stitches are on them. Get a history of maintenance. Ask them for receipts from the dealer where they had it, where they had service before they sold it. Do all those things before you buy a used machine, because like I said, there are a lot of grandmas out there that husbands buy them these top line sewing machines and they don't use them full time. They're occasional sewers. So you're going to have great deals on used machines. And because there are now abundance of these machines now, you can get them for really, really good prices. So just be diligent. Go out there. I bought mine from private owners. You can find them. You can find them anywhere. You can. You just have to keep looking. Just like when you ask about products, you have to keep searching for products online. You have to spend time researching. You got to do the legwork. Or as my grandma used to say, put some elbow grease into it. That's what grandma used to say. So if you ever hear me saying that to you guys, it means don't be lazy. Do some work on your own, okay? That's what that means. And if you're not willing to spend the time and the energy to put into, researching and stuff, then this craft isn't for you. You're not passionate enough about it. Whatever you're passionate about, you're going to put into it. If you're passionate about eating, you're going to be eating a lot. Is that a good example? Good analogy? Okay. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you later. I hope this helped. And yeah, so that's my latest. Till my next video. Bye.